Is property training really worth the money? Hey, my name's Alasdair Cunningham. Welcome to this week's show. If you're not already, get subscribed. I don't know why you're not, but if you're not, make sure you get subscribed. Now, what I want to talk to you about this week is property training really worth the money? Because I get asked this question all the time. Like seriously, all the time. People saying, why did you spend so much money on property training? Or is it really worth going on that course that costs £2,000? Now, in quite simple terms, I actually truly believe it is. A couple of exceptions though. Number one, make sure that whatever you learn, you actually implement. I am a case in point. If you just implement, you will get results. It's crazy. Honestly, funny enough, what they teach you does actually work. You might not, but the strategy does definitely work, okay? I've seen many people do it and succeed at it. I've also seen many people not do it and fail at it, okay? So at the end of the day, the strategy of what you're going to be learning will work. You just have to go out and do it and implement it and take serious, crazy action until you get there. Simple. It's not hard, is it? It's simple. Like we say all the time, the steps are quite easy, but the implementation side of it, that's where the problems occur. Because your life gets in the way, because, I don't know, your job gets in the way, whatever bullshit excuse you keep telling yourself to why you're not getting where you want to be, that gets in the way. The reality is this, property training works. The reality is this, property strategies work. The reality is this, you might not be working, and that's probably why you're not getting where you want to get to. Now, I'm going to talk to you today about exactly how, in one deal, I paid for my property education 3 times over. Seriously, one deal, 3 times over. So don't tell me it's not worth it. Now let me quantify that for you. I'm stood in my house in Bedford, okay? I've just bought this house. I paid £210,000 for it. And the day it was valued at 220. After the refurb, it's already been valued at £350,000. So I know that. I've got it in writing. I've got the paperwork that proves that the valuation has been come back at £350,000 by the bridging company. So they're very comfortable with that valuation. Otherwise, they wouldn't have lent, okay? So we are in the middle of refurb. As you can see, we're in a bit of a building site at the minute. So far, all we've had done is the structural beams being put in. That took the most time because we had to have architectural drawings. We had to have structural surveyors out. We had to have building control out. It took the most time. That's now done, and I'll show you some photographs of that in a minute. But I want to show you how I saved a massive chunk of money. Seriously. And this is the reason why most people come to look at this house, saw the amount of work they needed doing, and then left and walked away. And I'm going to show you how I spotted a few things that were different. And then this sort of validates my point, is property education worth paying the money for? If you're going to implement, 100%. Now let me explain. This property had some structural problems with it prior to me buying it. Now what had happened was this extension that I'm currently stood in was built without planning permission. The people that built it a long time ago, but they never ever got planning permission from it. But what had not happened is nobody had complained about it or nobody had objected to it. So there was no record on the council's website of any issues, any complaints, any problems with this property. Now, my knowledge taught me that I do not take anybody's word for anything. My knowledge taught me that anything like this, the first thing you do is get an architect and a structural engineer to look at it, because they're the professional. I'm not the professional when it comes to that. I don't know how to look at a building and determine if it's going to fall down or not, apart from the obvious. So I'm not a structural engineer. I don't claim to be, and I'm never going to claim to be. These people go to university for a long time to learn their craft, and I'm not going to take that away from them. So I got a structural engineer out to look at it and assess the condition. The company selling this property, when they had tenants in here that had been in here for a long time. Now, these tenants caused the neighbours a lot of problems. They trashed the property. They caused a lot of issues within this property. When the company regained control of the property and they got rid of the tenants, they come in, they saw all the damage. They saw the fact that walls had been knocked down, and they saw the fact that there was acro props holding part of the ceiling up. So they got a large nationwide company to come out and quote to put this property good. Not to refurb it, just to make the extension good and to fix the RSJ and to do all that side of things. Now, the quote was from this company, BSG Property Limited, and it was £29,805 plus vodka and tonic. Okay, £29,805 plus VAT. Now that quote was to come out, to dig down under the footings and to make sure the footings were good, to then underpin, to then fix all the floor downstairs, fix the floor upstairs, to change all the roof trusses, change the floor joists, put a structural beam up, make good all the walls, and that quote was £29,805. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, the problem is, when all these people come out to view this house and the estate agent went, well, we've had a quote for the work, there it is, everyone got scared off because it made the numbers of this property a little bit less exciting. Now, me knowing what I know and being the cheeky bugger that I am, and also just thinking outside the box and being prepared to take risks, I went ahead and I bought this property knowing that my architect had advised me that Alasdair won't cost anywhere near that to get fixed. Nowhere near that. So I spoke to my architect, that's what he advised me, so I went ahead and I bought the property. We got the keys on May the 8th, I think it was, May the 8th, and my build team come in and they started doing their work. First thing we had to do is we got building control out to tell us exactly what we had to do. Easy, simple, they come out very quickly, very efficiently. I then got my architect to come out and look at it, assess what building control said, and then give me drawings for various things. Structural steels, opening the floor space up, looking at doing the measurements on the floor joists and the trusses on the roof to make sure the roof is not going to collapse, checking the footings to make sure they're deep enough, making sure the walls are tied in, because actually this wall here wasn't even tied into the building, so we had to tie that in. Let's cut to the chase. I've had all of the work done. Every single thing. And let me break it down for you. So my cost to me, okay, my builder, yes, charged me £2,800. I'll put the invoice up, okay? I then had to pay Bedford Council. I had to pay them £238.42. That was for building control to come out and look at the property. And then my architect was £475, and then a skip. So my costs are this. I've already written them down. Now, the cost to me. My builder charged me £2,800 for all of the work, including the labour, okay, and including materials. Labour and materials, £2,800. Bedford County Council, I had to pay £238.42 for them to come out and building control to assess what we'd done. Next, I had to pay an architect £475 to do structural drawings and beam calculations. And then we had to have a skip, which was £235. So let me just add that up. So we have a total investment, right? Total investment, let's do it on the wall. £3,748.42. That was the total investment by me to get this sorted out and signed off by building control. Okay? Now let's compare that to the original quote. So the original quote, and by the way, this includes VAT. Okay, so the original quote was 29,805 times VAT, or plus VAT, 35,666. So it's 35,766. That was the original. How much have I saved? Seriously, take away £3,748.42, £32,017.56. It does not take a genius to work out that my property education has been paid for nearly 3 times. So my property education of £12,000 in this deal alone, that most people come in and left because they said it was too risky. Most people come in and left and said, I'm not going to do it because I don't know what I'm doing. Seriously, over 40 people looked at this house. Some of them come in, saw the work, run away because they were scared, because they didn't know what to do with it. Not me. I came in, I'm like, great, love it. The more risks, the more profit. I know what I'm doing because I'm educated and I'm trained. My education saved me £32,000. Or did it make me £32,000? Depends how you look at things. On this deal, I stand to make an awful lot of money. And it's all because I know what I'm looking for, I take risks, and I got educated. Guys, I hope you found that useful. If you have, give me a thumbs up, share some love, drop me some comments below, and I'll see you next time.